Good afternoon and welcome to Mini Hockey League 2024 podcast.
And okay, cool. We're
Today
going.
We have Eric Sherwood here with us.
No, you're the guest. I'm not the guest. You're the guest. And I didn't actually need an audio check. I just make everybody else do the intro, and I didn't think you were gonna do it, so I had to trick you into it.
Oh, okay.
So now you're already rolling, isn't it? It's that easy.
Oh, goodness gracious.
And the timer's already going, and now you're into it.
I should have caught that.
I was trying not to smile because I'm laughing because I know. Out of all my friends, my friend Lisa here is a little bit more nervous than the rest, which isn't a bad thing. It's just a thing. It's just a thing.
He tricked me.
I would never trick you.
I should have known by the smile.
Yeah. And also I am going to be making minor adjustments as we go, so don't worry about it too much. And talk a little louder.
Okay.
There we go. Oh, there we go. Now you're in. All right. Yeah, now I can see the little wave.
Oh.
There's a little wave here, and if I can't see it, then that means I can't hear you.
I'll scream.
But it's okay. So the first question is a nice, easy, juicy one on a platter. So tell us about you. Who are you? You don't have to reveal your whole name, but who are you? Anything you'd like to share? Any interests, hobbies? The idea is that we have about 200 viewers regularly-ish. Nice. And so I feel like one of those people is a fan of your team, and this will either convince them to stay or tell them to move on.
All right. Well, again, my name is Lisa. I play in the Mini Hockey League 2024 this past season, and I believe I came in third, fifth. Maybe sixth? I don't know.
Not
one of those.
Last.
Yeah, no, just not last. I actually enjoyed it. My team name is the Flying Pucks. And hockey is something I do love. It brings a lot of joy to myself because knowing that I get to go out there and skate and shoot the puck.
Be part of a team.
Be a part of a team.
Score goals.
Yeah. It's definitely a lot of fun. It's something my husband and I do together. And then we met Eric through hockey, so now we do multiple things of hockey with Eric, whether it's mini hockey league or street hockey or ice hockey as well.
Yeah. We do a lot of things otherwise. Lisa's my best friend in the whole world, and so we text a lot and keep up with each other. Lisa likes to fly too.
I do. Yes. And you are my best friend as well.
It's important because it ties back into the next question, which is your team. Okay. Why did you pick your team?
I wanted something like aviation related and hockey. As Eric had said, I do fly. So I chose the Flying Pucks. I just wanted something fun, but something that also resembled me. Yep. And those two hobbies, flying and hockey, are my two major hobbies. And I just didn't really know what to name the team, and Eric and I were going back and forth with it. And
pucks do fly.
Yes, pucks fly.
Actually do fly. And I didn't really know what to make for your logo. You were kind of just open-ended, do what you feel like you want to do. And I'm like, I'll take it literally.
I love the logo.
And making your logo, and I've said it twice already, and I don't want to beat a dead horse, but you haven't heard I've told you, but it was 300 layers of things. It was my first ever custom thing ever. So it was kind of special.
Good.
It was
Thank you.
I made cats, but hers had a stock picture of a wombat, but I edited him obviously, but I didn't create the whole wombat. It was just a part of something else. Then I edited it and added to it. Yours was from the ground up.
Original.
Layer 1 was a black line.
Really?
And that was where it started. There was no I didn't take a picture of a puck or anything. I used what are the glasses? Goggles?
Oh, the little goggles.
I used a reference. I looked at a different picture and used that as a reference, but I didn't actually pull it off and use it.
Well, I love that it's original. It is my favorite logo, so thank you.
It's probably my favorite logo in the league. Yay. And it's the most original out of them all by a pretty good amount. Yeah.
So my favorite team too? Not just the logo.
Oh well, I mean, my favorite team is the Hornets. Personally, I have to
Hornets,
be. I have to be.
The ones who won last season.
Yep, that's the only reason. It's not because I own them or anything. No, I do. I don't know. I don't know. I like the Hornets. I don't even know why I picked it. I guess it's like I was running out of black and yellow things. There's so many black and yellow things. Like when me and Kat did our little foosball league, they were the Stingers, which is like pretty close to a Hornet. And I was like, all right, bet we'll just kind of transition the franchise into the into mini hockey.
There you go.
But so you own the pucks. Oh, you own the pucks, and you dedicated a captain this season. Do you remember which player that was?
Was it a 55 or just 5?
It was 45.
45. Okay.
45. And
right.
This might be the first time I'm actually bringing up captaincy. You chose 45 as your or you might have. I think you did choose 45. Why did you choose 45?
Okay.
Honestly, why did we choose 45?
Honestly, Pete, my husband, who is the Kessel Run owner, I guess, of that team. His lucky number is 4, and my lucky number is 5. So
there's some lore behind it.
So there, yep. So 45 was something that represented us. And to be honest, if it wasn't for Pete, I don't know if I would be playing hockey. Like me being able to play hockey. So right when we started dating, I found out he played, and then I signed us both up, and we've been playing ever since, and we're married, going on 11 years? Going on 10 years, actually. So we've been playing hockey for 10 years. So that number, 45, is a little resemblance of him and I in our hockey.
Oh, that was touching. That was a sweet story.
Oh, you know what? It's crazy you say that, because everything that Pete and I do usually has some kind of resemblance to something in our relationship. For example, the 45 would be the reason why I chose that number, but there's other things too. So,
So it has no relevance to anything that he did in the season. It was from the heart.
It was from the heart.
It was from the coach's heart.
Yeah.
Hey, that counts. It means something. I mean, everybody else, you're original in the fact that everybody else. I don't think I went over Pete's captain with him, but I don't think his was based on such a sweet sentiment like that. I think his was more or less like, I think this player had the most points, so I'm picking this guy.
You guys got like stats, and I'm over here like, oh, okay.
And that's why people are going to root for you and your improvement in the off season.
Yeah, you guys root for me. I won't let you down.
I believe we're gonna. So there's a lot of things coming to this season, including grace periods where before games begin, both players are going to be at their little station. I'm going to throw a bunch of pucks in, and you're going to get some time to warm up.
Oh, okay.
And I'm hoping that helps everybody out a little bit when it comes to getting the hands ready and like trying to make a pass or something. Like,
I think it will help, because when you guys allowed me to practice just hitting it a little bit more, it definitely helped. So I like that. I like these warm-ups.
Yeah, well, so that's one way we're trying to improve it. What do you think your favorite part of the season was? Like, enjoyable thing about the season? It doesn't have to be a game. Doesn't have to be somebody winning. It could be anything about the season.
There's a couple things, to be honest. I'm going to say the invite that we got selected. Out of all the people in the world, you chose us. I speak for Pete and I, as you can tell. Let me focus on, what am I? Flying pucks. It was the fact that you invited me to play. I thought that was like number one. Number two was definitely like the friendships that we've already created, but now we're like competing against each other just to kind of see like, okay, are you gonna go easy on me because we're friends, or are you just gonna take me out? Not just for you either. That's everyone I played against. And then the third one I definitely would say is, like, each week I came back, I felt like I was getting better. From the very first time I ever played to like the last game, I was like, I got this. You know, I was like excited to see my improvement. And then you always gave me like little tips on like what to do, how to improve. So it's a mixture of everything, to be honest.
Yeah, there was definitely a couple slower starts, and it's understandable because, well, half the people, I mean, half of us, me and Kat had a lot of experience. Pete is naturally good at everything. And Andrew had played a couple times, you know. Right. So there's, you know, everyone had a different experience levels. So the beginning of the season was slower, not just for you and Anthony, I mean, but for everyone, I mean, it was a struggle. Like, we had 3 goals in the first whole week.
Right.
There was only 3 goals scored. It's not like everyone was like plastering the puck in. It was just like pretty slow. So everyone kind of adjusted to that, and you can definitely see that we as me and Kat would watch week to week. We watched the improvement of everybody, and we thought you and Anthony there's promise, and we believe, and it's like hopefully the way this new schedule is going to work is that everyone will kind of be a little bit more warmed up into their games, so they have a little bit more of like a getting the rust off right away kind of thing.
Yep, I agree.
So when you play, do you use 2 hands on players, or do you use 1 hand on the goalie, or do you just hope to get to the right one? What is your strategy?
Hope to get to the right one.
Yep.
So I have been observing last season how each person played, and I was hoping to maybe try out different styles this time around. I think the last game, and I might be wrong, I'll have to rewatch it, but I think the last game I did just keep my left hand on the goalie just to see how that one was. But I did start with, oh my goodness, which one do I grab? Oh my goodness, which goes where? So it was more of both hands just hoping for the best, trying to grab the guy near the puck.
And sometimes hands blocking the goal.
Yep.
We won't talk about that.
Oh, yes, I won't forget that. What about the one time when it came out and then no, I don't think I flicked it.
No, you tried to stop a goal.
I was trying to stop
from
it?
going
Okay.
in. Yeah,
I remember that.
It was funny because that was actually a 1-goal game. So if you had won that game, it would have been uh-oh.
Oops.
It was still funny. We actually are making a penalty rule that I might name it after you. I could call it the Lisa penalty rule or something. And
you should. Don't do it, Lisa.
So the one-handed strategy is definitely good. I mean, everyone uses different strategies, and people are trying to kind of adapt to what works best. Like for me, I play 2 hands on offense. Pete is a little hybrid. Pete does 2 hands on offense, but when he's in his own zone, he'll play 1-1. So
okay.
Everyone kind of does it. Kat plays 1-1.
Yeah, I've seen that.
My only thing with 1-1 is it's hard to score, and tying that into your last season's stats. We're going to go over them. We're going to go over them not for any bad reason, just but because, we're doing this with everybody. So, shots-wise, you had 18, which it's about 3 per game.
Okay.
And it was for 5th in the league. So, you weren't last in the league in that category.
Okay.
More shots typically makes more goals. I mean, obviously, that's such a silly thing to say, but you had, in the first... There was a couple weeks, you didn't shoot so well, but you had, 5 shots in week 3, 6 in week 4. So, I mean, that
was improving.
Pretty decent numbers, yeah. And the last game, I thought you played extremely well, and I think you might have been playing Kat on that last game, and Kat's just a hard opponent.
I think I did start with
Kat's just a hard opponent to beat. It's not...
Well, she also taught me a little bit, too.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's called, but when you slam your...
Just
to
push it in. I think that was me.
Was it you?
I think that was me.
Okay,
Instead of actually shooting.
You've been helping me
sometimes if the puck is there, just hit it forward, because it doesn't. If it kicks in, it's still in. There's no non-kicking rule.
Right. So that I felt helped too, because I always felt like I had to twist that.
Yeah, and obviously more shots. It ties into goals. You had 3 this season. That was last. And your goals came from, let's see where they come from. They all came from your center.
What? All 3 of them?
Yep, all 3 of them came from your center. So, you're scoring with him.
That's my captain, by the way, right?
What?
I'm joking. I said that's my captain, right?
It can be. I can take the little sticker off and move it over. So, that's... I'll be honest, it's not great, but there's improvement there. I feel like it got better, and you had good chances. Towards the end, we were Lisa's getting chances, and they're almost going in. And I think it's just going to be, if we can get you a little bit of help with, it's almost like the reflexes. It's if you're not there quick enough, they get the goalie over, and it's well, that's tough. Actually,
I think the warm-ups this season might help me.
So, yeah, and
Yeah.
that's also going to help me get some stock footage for you guys. So when I make the videos, I have a little bit of something, right?
Yeah.
Because it's hard to start a video with black screen as it goes straight into the game.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
but as well as your other stats, goals against was 11, which is 5th, but it's really not that bad. I feel like you had a couple skewed games where you allowed 3 here and 3 there. If you take away those 3, you've only allowed 4 goals against, and realistically, that's not bad.
Yeah.
You just had a couple rough ones in there. But your defense, I don't think your defense is that big of a problem. I think it's just the conversion on offense. You're not losing these games by more than 2 goals ever. So that's you've only lost. 2 is pretty much the number you lose by. So
Okay.
there's little hope. 1 goal goes your way, and you stop one that goes the other way, and that's a tie game. So they're really tight, and the competition is going to get tighter.
Right.
I feel like Kat and I were pretty experienced players,
Yes.
right? And now I feel like there's definitely more experience that everyone's going to have, and and I think that
So watch out.
I think that you can take advantage of that. So as far as the season goes, did you have any memorable moments
Yes. I will never forget this moment. It was you winning the cup.
Oh, yeah, you got the cup over there, huh? That was a great moment for me.
And I think the whole mini hockey league was the memory. In all honesty, every week coming in, just
That's
playing.
That's
with
kind
your
of
friends.
part of it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I'm doing it all. One, for my own experience to get better with softwares and things like that, but also because
Right.
I love hockey and I love you guys and I love putting it all together. And then
Right.
we all have our own little competition, and it's not I don't think anyone other than me and Pete really just want to crush the other person. Nobody's out here
I was always wanting to crush people. No, I'm kidding.
yeah, but I don't think there's really, and even in our rivalry, it's more of a friendship than it is an actual.
Right.
I hate you. I'm gonna crush you. It's and I just feel I don't know. I just put a lot of things we love together all into one place. A lot of good people, and we all love hockey.
So
it all kind of fits in together. And what about
it's unique. It's very unique. You can go anywhere and play foosball, or air hockey, but
mini hockey is pretty rare, and as far as videos or things I've seen, I don't see anybody else doing anything similar to this. And I'm hoping that if we can keep it going, improve the quality repeatedly. I'm getting the new computer, we're getting the new setup and everything. If keep continuing, maybe we'll get a real thing going here. You might be famous one day. The Flying Pucks might be famous. You might have a cult following.
Kicking the Hornets' butts. No.
Yeah, maybe. Hopefully down the line. And speaking of that, well, actually before that, what did you have any games that were other than the last game, obviously, because me and Kat played for it? Was there any games that you specifically had, or any games that you watch other people have that you were just wow, that game was insane? I know it's a long time ago.
Say you and Kat. Anytime instead of just your guys' game, but anytime you guys went up against someone else, all my attention was there because you have your own playing style and Kat has her own playing style. Mm-hmm. And I was observing how you guys stand, how you guys move your arms, your hands. I don't know if you watch Kat. I'm sure you have, but. She'll move her whole body out of the way. Yeah.
To get out of the way, to dodge it.
Yeah.
I'm lanky.
Yeah.
I'm lanky, so I don't have to
Yeah.
I can kind of get around
That's true. You can kind of. Yep. But she'll just come around, and I'm she's dancing over there, and I'm over here just trying to figure out,
She's a competitive little bugger. She wants to win.
So to answer that question, I think any game that you or Kat played, it doesn't even have to be the one that you guys played, but. Yep. Anytime that you guys play, maybe because you guys do have more experience and it makes it that much more ooh, who's gonna win this, so
I definitely noticed me and Kat have played against each other so many times that we kind of know what's gonna happen or how the other one plays. So when I was commentating the last games in our championship series, it was harder because it was so much faster. It was a different game. It really was. Me and Pete had our competitive games, but or the Kessel Runners and Hornets, they had their own competitiveness. But when the Wombats and Hornets went up against each other, me and Kat, it was just the flow was just crazy, and it was nonstop chaos. And don't know.
It was a fun game to watch.
It was horrifying.
Oh, you both are not stepping down. Let me just put it that way.
How did you feel like the first time you stepped into the game and you were under the lights and it was like there's a camera on the field and there's lights? Does that bother you at all? Does that make you, were you like,
I was
this is weird?
No, I wouldn't say weird, but I was nervous. But once I realized you didn't see the face, I was like, okay, I don't care.
Yeah.
I thought like it was originally, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was gonna be like you were just recording us playing, like two people playing mini hockey, and then I was like, wait, the faces aren't on there, then no one knows how bad I'm gonna do.
Well, now they're gonna.
Then that went out the window. And honestly, when I was in the moment of playing, I kind of forgot about lights, camera, action. It was just me, and I want to win or try to win. So I kind of went into competition mode, I guess, or competitive mode. So
things are easier when you get to them. Like, obviously, I know you're never going to listen to this podcast because you said you hate listening to your voice, but that's okay. You don't need to listen to your own ones. I find it hard to listen to my own ones that I'm part of. Like,
I'll listen to it for you.
Well,
but yeah, I don't
listen
like
to Pete's.
listening to my own voice. Yeah,
not many people do, and you were like a little bit nervous to sit down, but I mean, it's really not like, once you flow into it, it's like everything's pretty. You don't even realize what's going on.
Yeah,
at least I don't.
Shaking a little bit earlier, but now I'm like, oh, this is fun. This is just me and Eric talking.
Yeah, we're just talking about hockey, and it's going to allow people to, I mean, our 15 consistent people waiting on uploads for this channel are like, wow, we're really getting to know the flying pucks, and there's going to be a cult following. I'm feeling it. Like, it's going to be like puck people who want you to win, and every video is going to have comments hoping that you win every game.
I'm the one that makes the sound effects, if you guys ever hear them. Do you keep the sound effects in? I forgot.
It's partial because I like to have the sound effects in, but they get drowned out by everyone's like, oh my gosh, like, oh wow.
Well, flying pucks make sound effects when I play. So I should have sound effects. Like
maybe I'll have Lisa soundboard on the side and I'll just start throwing your sound effects in. Well, we're boring down to it. You did almost all the questions. I feel like you did pretty well. This one we've kind of covered a little bit already. Actually, how you play, we've already kind of covered that you are kind of. Do you have a strategy you're going to do this season? Are you doing the one hand and one hand?
I want to try a couple different outs. So probably during warm-ups
so we might see some hybrid play from the pucks. We'll see how they see if they can find their game, and then any ways you could improve. But I feel like we already talked about that. There is one thing I wanted to bring up that I've been bringing up to everybody is that when a player doesn't have the puck, it's important to put them in positions to be defensive. Okay. So you don't want your defenseman open, and I can kind of show you it a little bit more. But people have been, I feel like a big way that everybody in the league can improve is putting players in spots that are effective while they're not actually, you're not using them while they're just sitting there, because they can block pucks by just not moving.
So you'll add that to your list to help me.
We'll add to the list of improvement.
List.
It's not that long of a list.
3-page list.
But yeah, so lastly, we have the schedule for season 2, and I can read you off. And what everyone does at the end is I'm going to have you rank where you think everyone's going to fall in from 1 to 6, where you think everyone's going to fall, and then who do you think is going to win the cup. So we'll first go over your schedule. So in week 1, you play against the Liberty in Anthony. Okay. So it'd be a 9 and a little bit of an easier go ahead. I mean, 0-6 for the Liberty last year. It's a good start.
I feel like him and I were on the same playing ground.
I would be worried. He looks to have improved. I mean, he was scoring 2 goals consistently on Cat, which is not easy to do. Okay. Next, you'll play Pete in the Kessel Run in week 2. Okay. Which is, you could beat him. You could split. You could split with him. You only lost by 1 last season against him. Okay. So cool. And that was the hand game. Oh. The infamous hand game. Oh man. It's infamous. Then you're gonna play Andrew. Okay. You got
what's his team name again?
The Loons.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
And you've got a tough closing out. You're gonna need to get your wins early because you go against Cat in week 4.
All right.
and then me in week 5.
Oh,
So
back to back.
that's a rough outing at the end there. It was completely random. There was no bias.
But the more practice I have leading up is a better chance of me winning you.
And you scored a couple on Cat last year. So
And Cat, too.
if you can score on Cat, I think you could beat anybody. Cat's very difficult to score on.
All right. That's my goal, guys,
And
for this season is to score on Cat.
score on Cat. Where do you think everyone's going to land? So 1 through 6. If you had to say who's going to be in first this year, who you putting?
All right. So first, I'm going to say Wombats.
Wombats. Yep.
Yep.
This seems more likely. I was like, you're not putting Cat in the top 4. I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on here.
Yep. That's a flying puck mistake.
Yep.
So number 1 would be Wombats. Number 2, I put Kessel Run.
Yeah, that's a fair choice.
3 is Hornets. 4 would be Flying Pucks. I'm going to say 5 will be Liberty and 6 will be Loons.
Oh, you're dropping Andrew all the way down.
I am.
We'll see. He turned it on at the end of the season. He was 1-2, and then he went 3-0. So
Yeah.
we'll see how he does.
I think Liberty's going to have a comeback, though.
I think Liberty's going to be pretty good. I put him at 4th this year, which is a 2-jump improvement. So
Right. So
that's a pretty good list. Yeah, it's
I should do some workouts.
some practices.
Push-ups. Get going with.
I mean, I'm about to probably a couple months out from the season, but I'm gonna open the house up to anyone who wants to come over and practice. Pretty soon. So
Okay. I'll take you up on that offer.
yeah.
I don't want to come in 6th place.
No, nobody wants to come in 6th place.
Nope. Not in season 2.
That was it. That's
it.
the last ever episode of 2024. And that's going to be pretty much it. I don't got anything else. Do you have anything else? Anything you'd like to see change or improve this season? Any recommendations?
No, I think you've told us all the improvements and things that you want to change, and I'm definitely on board to seeing what the future holds. I do want to thank you for putting all this together and making this an epic time. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, thanks for stopping in, and we'll see what the Flying Pucks do this season.
All right. Sounds good.